Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Rezael deck profile for post-Illusionless Strife. The second set for the Cardfight Vanguard Divine series gave us more support to help support the first Keter Sanctuary Fated Clash Divine Skill deck, being the Fated One of Miracles, Rezael, a deck that focuses on recycling your criticals and then making a miracle happen by being able to damage check a other trigger aside from a heal and heal off of it. So very happy with the updated support we got for the deck. Some of the cards in the deck are still, a little more pricey to get a hold of. So if you're looking for some replacements in the deck, I can show you what you can use in turn until you can maybe get, or hopefully we get, some cheaper copies of these cards to use. But let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the ride deck, our ride line still consists of the energy generator. Our grade 0 is Wings of Aspiration, Soul. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Patrol of Gusts of Ventesta. When rode upon by a Knight of Great Advance, Ascension. Call this card to rearguard and Soul Charge 1, so giving you more Soul build-up power. And on rearguard, during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rezael in its card name, this unit gets plus 2,000. One of the potential targets to also call back with Rezael from the drop zone, depending on your damage that you have. Our grade 2 is Knight of Great Advance, Ascension. When rode upon by a grade 3 with Rezael in its card name, choose up to one grade 2 or less card from your drop and call it to rearguard. So more rearguard setup just in the form of using your ride deck, with our grade 3 being Fated One of Miracles, Rezael. With the copy we run in the ride deck, we also run 3 additional copies in the main deck for the Persona Ride power. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1, choose up to 2 cards from your drop zone with different grades and a total grade less than or equal to the number of cards in your damage zone. Call them to rearguard. And Divine Skill on Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, return all critical from your drop to the deck, shuffle it, and this unit gets drive +1 until end of turn. Until the end of this fight, you cannot ride units with Rezael in its card name, and you also get, when your damage check reveals a trigger other than heal, if your damage zone has 5 or more cards, choose a card from your damage zone, heal it, and you lose this ability. You can only use this Divine Skill once for the fight among all your cards, but still very useful to have a backup plan to a heal if you were to take a 6th damage. But the call power from the drop allows you to also have multiple attacks thanks to this card, because you could always call them to the front 2 separate rearguards. If you have 5 damage, that's a grade 3 and a grade 2 as well, to have up to 5 attacks during the one turn. The other grade 3 we run in the deck is the 1 copy of Gigantic Masher. On rearguard, if your unit was placed on rear by the ability of your Vanguard with Razel in its card name this turn, this unit gets plus 15,000. If you Persona Ride, that's 38,000, all thanks to 1 unit, making one of the better units to call out thanks to Razel's skill, so you'll always have that power to do so and hit for some bigger numbers, even if your opponent were to get a trigger or 2. For the grade 2s, I run 4 copies of Knight of Gentle Beauty, Nobia. Now, this number may change depending on one of the other grade 2s that we run at a lower number. So if you do, you would take out some copies of Nobia for those cards. When this unit's placed on rearguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Razel on its card name, counterblast 1, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less card from among them, call it to rear, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. If it is your battle phase, reveal it and put it to your hand instead of calling it. So, prevents you from calling out multiple rearguards to also be able to attack with. And on rearguard, when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Razel on its card name, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets plus 10 till the end of that battle. Added power boost for the potential grade 2 that you may have called off of Gigantic Masher as well, so you have guaranteed bigger numbers to hit against your opponent. With our new grade 2 in the deck being 3 copies of Knight of Bow Streaks, Nibaris. When placed on rearguard by your grade 3 or greater Vanguard's ability, it gets plus 10,000 till end of turn. And on rearguard, at the end of the battle, this unit attack, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Razel on its card name, Energy Blast 3, and put this unit into the soul, draw a card, look at the top card of your deck, and put it on the top or bottom of the deck, setting up your potential trigger for you to reveal off of your 6 damage heal, so you at least have a better shot at knowing what you're going to reveal off this card, and putting your Energy Blast to use in the deck as well, since the only other cards we were really using the Energy Blast for were the draw skill and our other grade 2, being Divine Sister Biscotti. When this card's put on the guard circle from hand or discarded from hand while riding from the ride deck, Counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3, draw a card, and when it's placed on rearguard, if you Persona Road this turn, Counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it on the top of the deck, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. If it's not the battle phase, you may call it to rearguard instead. More setup for the field, but once again, trigger prediction using our cards can help depending on the card we may reveal for the 6 damage. The other grade 2 that was more pricey is our Forefront Knight, Tethfault. Now this card has a ability when placed on rearguard other than by a unit's card ability. You play in a normal order this turn, which we also do around the deck. So plus 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard. Put it, reveal the card, call it to rearguard. If it's a unit card, put it in your hand if it's a normal order. And when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if you have 4 more units, it gets plus 10. Another plus 10 power. If you want to run more copies of this card, you can always drop down the copy of Nobias that we're running in the deck to add more copies of the Forefront Knight for your lineup. For the grade 1s, another pricier card, because it's in the form of a promo, is Sargon. This was a box topper for Fated Clash. On rearguard, when this unit boosts, if you have more rearguards than your opponent, or you play an order this turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 until the end of that battle. And at the end of that battle, retire this unit. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose a card from among them, put it in the hand, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck. So more search power to give you resources, taking away from your boost to then go back into your hand as guard power. A budget-friendly option you can run is Gargon. So if you don't have Sargon, you can always put Gargon in for its place. With our other grade 1s being 3 copies of Obligator Dragon. When it's placed on rearguard from hand, if you did not play any orders this turn, discard a card from your hand, search your deck for up to 1 order card without Regalis piece, discard it, and it gets continuous. This card can be played from the drop, and when it will be put into the drop after being played, put it on the bottom of the deck instead. So this is so we can use our Wisdom of the Beginning that cleared the New World Order all the more faster in the deck, being able just to search it and set it up in the drop zone for us to use. With our lower numbers for our grade 1s also being 2 copies of Aerial Sage. During the battle on rearguard, it boosted if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Razel on its card name, it gets plus 5,000. And when this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Razel on its card name, discard a card from your hand to countercharge, and this unit gets plus 2 until the end of that battle. More countercharge power because we do counterblast quite heavily in this deck with Rezael alone. And our other countercharge option is in the form of Gregon. When on rearguard, if your unit was placed by ability of your Vanguard with Divine Skill this turn, this unit gets on rearguard at the end of the battle. This unit boosted, retire this unit, countercharge 1, and get power plus 5,000. So then you have the plus 5,000 for it to at least provide a boost with, then retiring it to be able to countercharge also. It's just another countercharge option that you don't have to rely on being able to boost the Vanguard for. And then the last of the grade 1s is just our Sentinel lineup, the 1 Elementaria Sanctitude, and the 3 copies of Bringer of Protection Sethlon. Now for the orders, I run the 3 copies of the Wisdom of Beginning that cleared the world. You play it with a Counterblast 1, draw 2 cards, choose 2 cards from your hand, call them to rearguard. If their grade of each of them is less than or equal to your Vanguard, then discard them if not. More setup, but still being able to make use of this with Obligator Dragon gives us a way to put the order in the drop zone to then use from there. And then the 1 copy of Gradius Grudel, just so we have more options for Persona Ride. It can't be searched off, sadly, with Obligator Dragon, but still another order nonetheless. And then for the trigger lineup, with criticals being so important in the deck, we're running 8 copies of them. So 4 copies of Blade Feather Dragon and 4 copies of Shivomia for us to have more recycle options with the drop zone as well. And then I also run 2 copies of Perovi and the 1 copy of Alpac. That 1 front trigger can take our opponent by surprise. If you wanted to run 3 Perovi, you could always take it out for just 3 copies of the draw. With our heals being 4 copies of Aranis for the heal that came out in the start deck. And I would say very aesthetically fitting for the deck also, with our over trigger being Spiritual King of Ignition Valnut for the added restand power for multiple attacks with our rearguards to use also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, I am very happy with the updates we got with the Rezael deck, and maybe we'll see more support for it in set 4 and 5, maybe even a potential grade 4 Rezael unit to use as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.